Hey everyone, so today, I actually filmed a really exciting video. Maybe not that exciting, but I went through my stash and I kind of pulled products that I haven't used in a while. So this is the products I haven't used in a while, kind of get ready with me. And I'm using a completely different foundation than I usually do. Just like, really things that I've kind of just thrown into my stash that I haven't really given the time of day, or even some things that used to be old favorites that I'm just rediscovering, and some things I realize why I threw them into my stash and didn't pick them up again because I don't like them. So without further ado, we'll just get started with the Get Ready With Me. So we're starting with a cleansed and moisturized face. I used Jack Black Double Duty Face Moisturizer, Origins GinZing Eye Cream, and I also have a layer of primer on right now, and that is the Loreal Revitalift Miracle Blur. I think the reason why I tucked this away is because I didn't like it all that much, and after putting it on again for like the first time in months, I don't think that I still like it. It's one of those like slippy silicone primers that are like kind of thick. But for the most part, those usually like um they dry to like a powdery finish, and this one doesn't dry. Like it still feels like it's like sitting on top of my skin. For foundation, I'm going to be mixing two foundations that I really like, and they're very different. This one is Makeup Forever HD, and this one is the CoverGirl Outlast Stay Fabulous. This one is too pale for me, and this one is too dark for me right now. So, and this one is dewy, and this one is really matte. So together, I think that they just go together really well. So I'm probably going to take a little bit more of the Makeup Forever one, just because I am like the palest that I ever am right now. So I did about like a pump and a half of Makeup Forever, and I'm gonna do like sort of half a pump of the CoverGirl one. So this is the color that we're applying. And to apply, I'm going to be using my Marc Jacobs Face 2 brush. And first I'm just going to dot it all over my face. And now, after you look sufficiently gorgeous, we're just going to buff it in. Okay, so I just finished buffing that out, and I have to say, I really do enjoy the finish that it gave, and that ratio that I mixed worked really well because it's like right on par with my neck. And yeah, I have no complaints about that mix. It's very sort of skin-like. I think that the primer did help it glide over a little bit easy, but still not enamored with the primer. It didn't cling onto any of like of my dry patches. And yeah, it actually looks really, really, really good. It's like a nice medium coverage, so I definitely recommend mixing these two together. And for under eye concealer, I'm actually using something that I don't think I've used in about 2 years, so it's a little bit scary. But this is the Nars Original Concealer. Like before they came out with the Radiant Creamy, they had this stick concealer, which is kind of it's like a creamier stick concealer, and it's also very dark for me. But we're just gonna have to make it work because I actually don't own concealers that like I only have about 2 concealers and I always use them. So this will be a little bit of an adventure. So I'm just gonna put it sort of diagonally across. Can you guys even see the shape of that? So it's just like striped that way. And I'll actually apply it in front of you right now. So I'm kind of dragging it up the cheekbone even though it's way too dark, but it is kind of orange, so it will like help counteract darkness. So I'm just gonna buff that in, I'll be right back. So it like lightly concealed. I mean, I don't face like dark under eyes or anything, so I think it concealed as much as I really need, but I don't know, I'm not 100% impressed with it. It looks really smooth, I guess, but that could be the eye cream. I don't know. I may just throw this out because I feel like it's kind of bad at this point. Like, I've had it for so long, like, I think it's past its expiration date. And to wrap up the cream products, before I start using powders, I'm going to use Benefit's Girl Meets Pearl. This is a liquid highlighter, and I really do like this. Like, I don't know why I tuck it away. I feel like it's because I gravitate more towards powder highlighters. I'm just going to tap this on with my finger right onto the high points of my cheek. Okay, so I may actually like this less than I used to once upon a time because this is just way too subtle for my liking. Like, I went for a relatively matte base, so it should be like pretty contrasting against the matte base, like as a sheen, but it isn't. It just really like blended in with everything. I even dragged down my nose, on my chin, like through my temples, and you can't really tell. Onto the complexion, I'm going to do a kind of like goldy, warm-toned complexion, even though we are in winter. I feel like I do all these warm-toned looks in the middle of winter, but I'm going to start off with the Physicians Formula, I think it's called the Cashmere Wear Bronzer. It's cute. It looks like a little book. I use a big stippling brush, and I'm just gonna swirl some in, tap off the excess, and I'm hitting this kind of like on the cheek and buffing up in like swirly motions. I'm hitting it right sort of adjacent to my hairline and then buffing down and kind of dragging it towards the center of my forehead. So pretty much just hitting it right on the temple. I'm also dragging it right under the jawline and connecting it to there. And then dragging it down. Essentially, I just did like the very conventional C bronzing, you know, like, ooh. Oh no, not the C, the 3. So yeah, I just did the forehead, dragged down into the cut, dragged down, and then under the chin. So that's like the very kind of conventional 3 method. I like it every once in a while. I usually don't bronze though, so that's just my issue. So I'm just going to do the other side and be right back. Okay, so no complaints about the bronzer. I think it blends out really easily. It is a tiny bit shimmery, but I don't think it translates very much onto the skin. It's a nice, there's a lot of foundation still on my hand, but it's a nice kind of medium tone. I mean, it's not too warm, it's not too cool. It's definitely like a bronzer, not a contour. And to really try to bump up this very, very, very subtle highlight, I'm going to be using Lorac Perfectly Lit Spotlight highlighting powder, which is coming out a little bit brighter. I mentioned this in my highlighter video. It's just a very like neutral champagne shade, and I'm going to be using an angled duo fiber brush to apply this. I'm going to try to build this up though. It is a moderately subtle highlight, but I'm going to try to pack it on a little bit more. This is definitely the kind of highlight that I was going for. Very, very beaming, and I don't know, this is actually a really pretty combo. They're not like obtrusively shimmery, but I think that actually this Lorac powder has a little bit of coverage, so you can kind of like see its pale tone coming through along with the shimmer, but I really do like it. For blush, this used to be like one of my favorites until I got my Chanel blushes, but this is the Hourglass Radiant Magenta Ambient Lighting Blush, and for these kind of colors, I really like them on the apples of my cheeks. I don't like to do like the sculpty blush with them, so I'm just using I pretty much use this brush for my blush every day, and this is the Real Techniques Duo Fiber Face, so I'm just hitting this right between my bronze and my highlight at the very apex at the top of my cheekbone and kind of keeping it in that little circle. And I'm just kind of patting it on in like little circular motions to keep it right on the apple. Maybe blend it back a tiny bit just so it doesn't just like look like a circle. And now I'm just tapping it a little bit more and doing the other side. So yeah, no complaints about this blush. Like I really do enjoy it still. They are a little bit, because they are kind of so fine, you do get a bit of like kickback up with the, when you tap a brush into it, you know, like a lot of like excess little powder starts to kind of collect in the corners because it's not very like compact. So this used to be completely domed and it's actually flattening out quite a bit. And I did used to wear this a lot, but not like enough for it to start like pressing down. Just to kind of buff everything all into each other, I'm going to take a big ol' stippling brush and just drag this all over my cheek. Just to kind of blend through the lines and kind of disperse the shimmer. I know it's a very kind of subtle difference on camera, but with the with buffing it all out, it really just does look a lot better. And to set the under eye concealer, it's not tacky or anything, but it is a little bit too dark, so I just want to set it using an illuminating powder. And for that, I'm using the CoverFX Illuminating Loose Powder. I'm also going to take a little bit right across this area. Some people like to highlight right where their brow bone dips down into the bridge of their nose. I find that I get very oily right there, so I'm just doing like a very, very, very light highlight right there, dragging it down and up a little bit. But that's it pretty much for the complexion. I have no complaints for the way that it turned out. So this is what this lip duo looks like. I definitely like it more with this tapped on it a little bit. And I also, in that period of time, filled in my eyebrows using something that I haven't used in a while. I used the Too Faced Brow Envy Kit. The setting wax, I use this for the majority, and then I outline my bottom edge with this, which is what I usually do in general. Like, I'll use a blonde color, and then I'll underline it with a deeper color. But this literally took like 15 minutes. Like, I never remember using brow powders and having them take that long. Like, I put that wax down to have like that kind of base for it to stick, and still, like, it was just took forever. So another product that I haven't used in a while that I'm kind of apprehensive about using, honestly, is the Anastasia blonde brow gel. This is a relatively warm blonde brow gel, and my hair is gray. So I feel like if there's any warmth that comes through my brows, it looks really, really, really obvious. But we're gonna go for it. I used to actually really like this brow gel back when I was blonde. I'm happy to say that this actually dried really ashy. I used 2 layers of it just because I kind of wanted a little bit more of like the lightning effect to come through. But I actually really do enjoy the way that my brows look today. They just took forever. So I think I'm probably just going to skip to Dip Brow. I may put this in my rotation with my Maybelline Brow Drama. But besides that, I just have to throw on a quick coat of mascara. I'll use L'Oreal Butterfly Intenza because I haven't used it in a little bit just because I don't like it all that much. This is actually really fun. Sometimes you just kind of overlook things in your collection and then they start to go bad and everything. So I'm definitely going to try to keep these in my rotation. And if you guys want any reviews on any of these products, like more in-depth reviews by themselves, then I could definitely put those out if you just give me a heads up. And my first semester is almost over, so that's good, because then I can really focus more on this, and then I can get a new job and everything. So that was a little quick life update. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I really actually enjoyed the way it came out. I'm getting washed out, and I'm upset about it. But leave anything for me down below. I'll leave everything for you guys down below in the box. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good day and take care. Bye.